transfer to Manchester United today.
Football predictions.
If Rangers nil, Ipswich Town 1.
Football predictions.
It's Peter Guest, and I'm here with my friend the Moose for another episode of the footballpredictions.net podcast covering French Ligue 1 games for the 24th to the 26th of January 2025. And you can see all the details for the matches we're about to discuss in this podcast on our website, footballpredictions.net. You can see all the clickable links in the description, along with the fixtures from just about every other football competition in the world from A to Z.
Yes, and on our website, I will show you where to watch the games on local broadcast channels, plus video streaming services, as well as team news and match odds from local bookmakers. Look in the description of this podcast episode for direct clickable links to all of the matches we're about to discuss. If you're streaming any matches on Bet365, geolocation and live streaming rules apply. 18 plus, gamble aware.
Okay, the first match is Auxerre, who are in 11th, who take on Saint Etienne, who are in 16th position in the table. And it kicks off on Friday, the 24th of January at 7:45 p.m. in the UK. Visit the clickable links in the description to view your local kickoff time, betting odds, and broadcast streaming channels tailored to your location for this match. And of course, you can live stream this one on Bet365. And to qualify, all you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. And when you join, use the bonus code FP365. Now, this is a match-up between two sides who aren't getting much joy and not really winning much at all.
No, both teams, both Auxerre and Saint Etienne, has not found much form, even coming back from since the Christmas break. No wins for Auxerre, at least. There was one win for Saint Etienne. They beat Reims 3-1 in the first game back, but then they fell to a defeat at PSG, a defeat we predicted under both teams to score predictions as well. They lost that game 2-1. And then last week against Nantes at home, we predicted a draw and it ended 1-1 in that game. So yeah, we had some good predictions on Saint Etienne. For Auxerre, yeah, it's a different story. They lost at Angers last weekend. They lost 2-0. We had that as an under 2.5 goal game. We also had under 2.5 goals in their home game against Lille. The only home game they've had so far this year. That ended 0-0. And prior to that, they lost 3-1 at Strasbourg, and we predicted the outcome of that game. But yeah, Auxerre definitely struggling for form. But when we look at Saint Etienne, and even though they did come back with a win this year away from home, it's a very different story for Saint Etienne. They are in terrible away form and have been so all season away from home. They've lost so far 8 out of their 9 away games and just picked up 1 point, and that was in a draw against Nantes back in September. So yeah, it's not looking good for Saint Etienne on the road. They have now dropped down to 16th. So yeah, they're dropping towards the bottom of League 1 before this fixture. But yeah, Auxerre also needs to be a little bit careful. They are only 5 points, even though they are in 11th. They're only 5 points above Saint Etienne. So this is quite an important game for them. Auxerre, though, when we talk about them, so despite their overall form, no wins from 6 in League 1. At home, though, Auxerre's only lost 1 game all season. They picked up 5 wins. And then the last 3 games at home has all ended in draws. They even drew PSG at home. So they took points from some of the good teams here, Lille and Lens as well. So yeah, going into this game against Saint Etienne, Auxerre will be slight favourites. Also, they would not want to lose this game because that means they will increasingly drop more towards the bottom of the league as opposed to try and get a little bit of a run of form together for Europe.
Yeah, and Auxerre have been doing, not doing very well at all lately, but they are unbeaten in their last 7 home league matches, although they haven't actually won at home in the last 3. They're undefeated, so they're not losing is the point. So we are actually going with that. We're going for an Auxerre to win prediction. Odds you can get there of 1.91. And we also like the look of both teams to score in this. And we've gone for that prediction too. Odds there you can get of 1.7. For the correct score, we think it will be 2-1 to the home side. So, if you like the correct score prediction market, you can get odds there of 8.5 at the moment. On our website, 65% of you think that Auxerre will grab the win, and only 17% think Saint Etienne can come away with the points. Looking at the table positions, you can imagine that. Although the last team out of these two to win was actually Saint Etienne, but that was when they were at home. So, yes, Auxerre they're a bit hard to beat, although they do have a lot of draws. So, just for your interest, a draw you can get for 3.7 in this game, which is a distinct possibility, we think, as well. Next up, we've got Monaco, who are in 4th, taking on Rennes, who are in 14th. And this one kicks off on Saturday, the 25th of January at 4 p.m. And it's if you click the link in the description, you'll find your localized kickoff time, TV channels, streaming services, including Bet365. And to qualify to watch on there, all you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. And when you do join, use the bonus code FP365. Well, both teams going I know Monaco had that win against Aston Villa in the Champions League, but apart from that, they'd not won any game since the Coupe de France match in December. But Rennes aren't doing that well themselves, so it could be an interesting one.
Yeah, this will be an interesting game because there's two out of form teams. Monaco just one win from the last 6, no wins in 4, and no wins in Ligue 1 since they came back from the Christmas break. But like you just said, Gesti, we had a correct score prediction midweek because we predicted Monaco to get their first win this year, and that was in the Champions League at home to Aston Villa. So that was a great win for Monaco, and it also means that they're most likely going to go straight through in the Champions League table. Now for Monaco in Ligue 1 though, like we said, just one win from 6. They started the season really well, 6 wins from 7, and they were kind of keeping pace with PSG at the time and Marseille. But now Monaco, if we look at them in the league table, they're 4th, 31 points. But you now got Nice with 30 points and Lyon with 29 points just below them. So Monaco is actually starting to almost drift out of the Champions League spots here, which is of course something that they do not want to happen. They want to keep pace with the Champions League sides and remain in the Champions League spots come the end of the season. But then they will need to change their fortunes around. If we look at Ligue 1 and the results they've had this year, the started off with a draw at Nantes, and then last weekend a surprise defeat at bottom Montpellier. They lost that game 2-1. Our main prediction for that game was that both teams to score. If we look at Rennes, it doesn't look much better for them prior to this game because they've started this year with 3 straight defeats. A 3-2 defeat at Nice, and then 2 home defeats. 2-1 against Marseille and 2-1 at home to Brest. So yeah, not a great start to the year there. They also got knocked out of the Coupe de France, so the French Cup tournament also ended in a defeat for Rennes. They lost to Troyes in the Coupe de France, who is currently playing in Ligue 2, so a team below Ligue 1 in the pyramid there in France. But yeah, so Rennes not started the year great, out of the cup, 4 straight defeats this year so far, and we think they will struggle here at Monaco as well.
Yeah, and just a stat here, just looking at the pre-match facts, Rennes haven't beaten Monaco in games away from home in the last 5 league games, but they haven't won away from home at all in the last 9 league games. So that's not a good run at all, is it? So, yeah, we think it's going to be a Monaco victory here. Odds of that you can get at 1.7. But we do like the look of under 2.5 here as a tip, and you can get odds of 2.1 for under 2.5 goals in this one. And for our correct score prediction, we've decided that we're going to go for a home win of 2-0. So odds there you can get at 9. That's 8-1 in fractional. And on our website, where you can vote for what you think, so it's a good idea to gauge everyone else's opinion too. And this is not us voting, this one's you. 68% of you think it'll be a Monaco victory, only 18% Rennes. So that probably speaks for itself, and you can actually get 4.75 for an away win for Rennes. But Yeah, however likely that is. Next up, we've got Strasbourg, who are 10th, taking on Lille, who are 3rd in the table in Ligue 1. And Saturday, the 25th of January is when it kicks off, 6 p.m. UK time. And, of course, for this game, click the link in the description. You can find your local kickoff time, betting odds, and available viewing options. This one is live streaming on Bet365, and to qualify, all you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. Use bonus code FP365 on sign up. I think this one's also available on League One Pass if you want to pay for a subscription. So, Strasbourg are not losing matches. They've had a draw in the last Ligue 1, but yeah, this should be a fascinating tussle, shouldn't it?
Yeah, because we've gone from a couple of teams who are really badly out of form to two teams that are actually getting in form. And if we can start with Strasbourg, the home team, sitting 10th currently, but earlier in the season, yeah, they were dropping towards the bottom of League One with just 3 wins before Christmas. However, that was just before they played Le Havre away, just before the break. They won that game 3-0, and they've now gone into the new year beating Auxerre 3-1, Toulouse 2-1 away, and then they had a good draw away to Marseille last weekend. That game ended 1-1. So yeah, that was a great point for Strasbourg to pick up. They also threw in the cup, so they picked up some form. Had some good results against some decent teams. The result from last weekend proves that. We had that down as both teams to score, by the way, on our predictions, or our main prediction for that game. If we look at Lille, they've equally been very strong, and in fact unbeaten now in 14 matches in Ligue 1. Since coming back from the break, they have had 2 draws, but then they turned that into a win last weekend with a home win of 2-1 against Nice. We predicted that outcome. We also predicted low-scoring games against Auxerre and Nantes. We had under 2.5 goals in both of those, and at Auxerre it ended 0-0, and at home to Nantes it ended 1-1. Lille, has to be said, they lost 2-1 at Liverpool midweek in the Champions League. We had them down for a 3-1 defeat. So yeah, again, on the outcome and both teams to score, we were correct on Lille. So we've had some solid predictions until going into this game at Strasbourg, but Strasbourg has picked up a bit of form, so it's not going to be plain sailing for the away team here.
No, indeed. Yeah, we think that Lille can go to Strasbourg, but and try to get the win, but we think actually going to get held. We think Strasbourg will actually hold them to a draw. We don't think that they'll lose, but that's what we're going for. Draw odds are really good. If you predict a draw, you can get odds of 3.4 for a draw in this game. And so that's our tip for the best odds. We also do like the look of both teams to score, so we've gone for a 1-1. So both teams to score, you can get odds of 1.67. Not as appealing, but that's probably a good outcome. I mean, don't forget, in the last game, Strasbourg drew 1-1, didn't they, with Marseille? And there's also been quite a few draws for Lille as well of late. So, in fact, quite a few. They being a draw at 1-1 will give you odds of 6.5. That's the current odds. Go to our site and you'll see what they are for you in your local country. So, by the way, Strasbourg odds of 2.75 for the win, and Lille 2.55. So it looks like the bookies are kind of on the fence, slightly favouring Lille, of course, who are in a higher league position. But we shall see. We've gone for 1-1. Next up, we have PSG, top of the table, taking on Reims, who are in 13th. And this one kicks off on Saturday, the 25th of January, 8:05 on Saturday. That's in the evening in the UK time. And for this game, click the link in the description to see your local kickoff time, betting odds, and available viewing options. And this one you can watch on the League One Pass. And I believe this one's also available on Bet365. And to qualify, all you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours and use bonus code FP365 on sign up. And for this one, PSG rolling along, seem to be doing pretty well. But Reims seem to be a bit hard to beat.
Yeah, but no doubt about it, PSG has really started this year really, really strong. And I think what symbolized that was almost a comeback against Manchester City midweek in the Champions League. We had that game down as both teams to score and lots of goals. Now it ended 4-2 to PSG, but Man City were up 2-0 in that game before PSG pulled 4 goals back. And to be honest, they looked quite impressive in that game and could have scored even more. So yeah, that's probably quite telling for how PSG have been doing this season. In the Champions League, though, they had been performing quite badly. They had to beat Man City in that game just to sneak back into the knockout stages of that competition. But yeah, they'll be very happy with that win, and they'll be very happy with the start to this year also in Ligue 1. Like, they started the year with a 2-1 win against Saint-Etienne, and then they went to Lens last week and beat them 2-1 as well. And guess what? We had that one down for a 2-1 prediction PSG. So a correct score prediction outcome, and both teams to score in that game. In between, PSG had a 4-2 win at Isbali in Coupe de France, and they beat Monaco in the Trophée des Champions. I hope I pronounced that correctly. But yeah, that kind of kicks off the second part of the French season, that tournament. But yeah, Reims, they are playing away in this game. They are not in form, let's say it like that. Overall, they have just one win now from their last 11 matches in League One, and they are also struggling for goals. But despite that, they have managed to score in every single game this year. So since the break, they've scored in each of their 3 matches, but they've only picked up a point. That was last weekend at home to Havre at home. That ended 1-1. But if we just go back before the break in December, 3 games in a row without a goal, and then they had a 1-1 draw there with Lyon. The last win was at Le Havre. It was a 3-1 win back in November. But yeah, like we said, just 1 win from 11 for Reims going into this game as PSG. And yeah, no doubt about it, it's going to be a really hard game for them. But let's not forget, it did end 1-1 in the first game between these two sides this season. That was at Reims. So yeah, it's one of the few games that PSG actually dropped points in. So still, they know how to potentially play this PSG side.
Yeah, I mean, PSG obviously score a lot of goals. They've got a lot of goal scorers. But, you know, Reims have also been good at actually, you know, not necessarily winning, but they have grabbed a few draws, and they tend to often score at least one. And that's the last time they failed to score at all was in 14th of December against Monaco. So we're liking the look of both teams to score as our tip for this one, and we've gone for that. Both teams to score prediction. 1.83 are the odds that you can currently get for that. But yes, it really has to be at home, especially a PSG win, and you can only get odds of 1.22. So not really worth doing, I don't think, unless you really like your certainties. 2-1 is the scoreline we've gone for. We think it'll be a home win of just by the single goal. And for a correct score prediction, the odds for that, exactly 2-1, are 9 or 8-1. Tell you what, if you really thought that that Irons could get a draw, you can get odds of 6, which is pretty huge, and for a win, 10. But yeah, we don't really see that happening in this game. Moving on, we've got Havre 17th, who are taking on Brest in 9th. And this one kicks off on Sunday, the 26th of January at 2 p.m. And you can watch this one on Bet365. And to qualify, all you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. Do use our bonus code FP365 when you sign up. And for this one, we have actually gone for an away win. We've gone for our tip here is actually under 2.5 goals. And we've gone for a correct score of Havre 0, Brest 1.
Yes, and then we move on to Nantes in 15th, who takes on Lyon in 6th. This game kicks off Sunday, 26th of January at 4:15 UK time. Now, this is another game you can watch on Bet365. And in order to qualify for streaming, all you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. And then when you sign up, use that bonus code FP365. And for this game, we are going with an under 2.5 goal prediction, a Lyon win, and a correct score prediction of 1-0 Lyon.
Yes, and next up we have Toulouse, who are in 8th, taking on Montpellier, who are down in 18th. It's on Sunday, 26th of Jan, 4:15 in the afternoon. And again, another one you can watch streamed on Bet365, and to qualify, all you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. Use bonus code FP365. This one's also available if you want to pay for a subscription on the Ligue 1 Pass. For this game, we think it's going to be a both teams to score. That's our tip. We've gone for a home win. We think it'll be Toulouse 3, Montpellier 1.
Yes, and then we have Lens in 7th, who takes on Angers in 12th. This game kicks off Sunday, 26th of January, 4:15 UK time. It's another game you can watch on Bet365. But in order to qualify for the free streaming, you do need to have a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. And when you do sign up, use that bonus code FP365. Now for the game, this game between Lens and Angers, we're going with a Lens win, an over 2.5 goal prediction, and a 3-0 correct score prediction. That's 3-0 Lens for this game.
Yes, and moving on, we've got Nice in 5th, who are taking on Marseille, who are in 2nd, really pushing. Sunday the 26th of January, that's 7:45 in the evening UK time, and you can watch this one streamed on Bet365, and to qualify for that, all you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. And when you join, use the bonus code FP365. This one, if you want to pay for a subscription, is also on Ligue 1 Pass. Now for this one, we have gone for an under 2.5 goals tip. Our prediction here is going to be for an away win to Marseille, and we think it's going to be Nice 0, Marseille 1. Again, live streaming is available on Bet365, and use the bonus code FP365 during that sign-up process to qualify. All you need, again, is funds in your account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. Geolocation and live streaming rules apply. Full details are available on the Bet365 website. 18 plus, gamble aware.
Yes, and in the description area of this podcast, you'll see links to the matches we've just covered, or visit the footballpredictions.net website. There you can have a look at all the online sources to watch the games from your location via streaming and TV channels, our predictions for different betting markets, team news, plus the best offers and odds.
We'd like to let you know that we record football podcasts for additional competitions in addition to League One, and you can hear them at podcast.footballpredictions.net, or where you download your favourite podcasts from, including Apple, YouTube, Spotify. Well, that's it. Thank you for listening. And for now, it is
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
A football prediction.